Hello there, folks. Hey, this is Joel here. Hey, this quick video is going to talk about the session limit exceeded. If you're using the web server on the red line units and you ever get where this shows up on a web page, what this typically means is that the number of sessions that we support has been exceeded or met, if you will. And typically, Redline supports up to 4 active sessions at a time via the web page. So here I have a current HMI that's showing session limit exceeded. The only way you can really fix this is to tell the other people that are looking at your web page or looking at that unit to close their browser, even if they're not focused on that page. This is holding up a session, if you will, and so the only way you can clear that up is to close that or cycle power that unit and then get onto it. So I want to show you, though, maybe a couple ways you can use to debug this. Now, if you have the database for this product or this Redline unit opened, and you would have to pre-do this prior, but I'm going to show you how to turn on some diagnostic tools. So if you go into Crimson, and if you're using Crimson 3.1 or 3.2, if you go over to the left and click WebServer on the left, and of course in 3.2, you got it enabled here. 3.1, you had to check that, but it's enabled by default. Normally, your web page is using port 80 here, so don't worry about that. I'm using, in this case, different port numbers because I have a bunch of these attached, but normally you're using either port 80 or you're doing the TLS, and it's port 443. But anyway, I'll leave that. If you go to the Features tab, click on the Features tab here, and if you, I don't know why this is doing this, but if you slide all the way down to the bottom, there's a section called System Pages. And you really just want to enable the system pages. You don't do the rest of these. You don't need to do these for this, but you need to enable the system pages. And then if you did this before in the past, great. If not, go ahead and download that to the unit. Now that it's downloaded to the unit, if I go back to my browser, now this is looking at the one here that's currently being used. Let me go over to this other one here. So this is it, and at the main listing, here at the main listing, you got your remote view that's currently will be given that session limit. If I click on System Diagnostics here, and then on System Diagnostics, click on Network Status, and it's going to show you a table of the information here, and I'm going to check this update real time, and you can look here, and you can see the different port numbers that are available. Now, this unit's using port 92. Most of the time, yours are either going to be port 80 or 443, but I'm using 92. So you can see right here, here's my 2 sessions that are open with this particular browser. One of them is closed there. But if I go back to this tab, here's the one that's currently being exceeded. If I hit the back arrow on this guy, and again, I'll do the home button here, System Diagnostics, and then I'm going to click Network Status right here. Displays the sockets opened. I keep saying sessions, but sockets. Do network status, check update real time. Now I can look. Now this guy, this HMI's got a whole bunch of stuff going on, so don't freak out about all these different port numbers. But if you look down here, this right here, this column here, team, is my local IP address here, my local office network. And then, of course, here, this guy is using port 97 for the web pages. Like I said, yours will be port 80 or 443, depending on that. I'm doing a bunch of port 440, a bunch of port forwarding rules. And then here are all of the IP addresses of the other devices that are currently looking at this. So I've got some other colleagues at the company that are hitting this right now just for this demo. So I can see that somebody out there is 12, 162, a 70. All these numbers are coming in, and of course, this here, 33, I believe, that is me. Let me double check with DOS. And if I look at my DOS window here, I can see that the IP address of my local PC on my office network is 192.168.4.33. So that is my connection right there. So anyway, basically, I'm saying to you, you can tell who's connected here. Now you're going to find out who in your company has these IP addresses, but somebody out there is currently hogging that up. So once you get everybody out of there, you'll get back in. So it's basically we allow 4 browsers at a time to look at that, and that's how you can decipher who might be using that port number by simply turning on that in the database. You want to enable System Pages, download that to the unit, and then when you go to the IP address of the unit, you click this is your main listing right here. You're going to click the System Diagnostics, and then your network status. I think there's some other things here too. That's not very exciting. Now let's see. What about routes? Look at here. So you can also get some additional information on the routes. No, that doesn't show any of my public stuff. No, that's not going to work. No, I think all your information you're going to want is in your network status right here. It's under network config. Oh, wait, yep. Network status is where you're looking at. Yep. And that'll give you, like I said, update real time. And when you look at that window, you'll find all the IP addresses of other things or people on your network that are sitting there. And what actually happens a lot of time, I find, is people in a browser, one of these, leave it open, and then they go about their day. They need to close it. And yeah, somehow we should have a tool that would shut it down after inactivity. But anyway, that's what you got. Hey, thanks a lot, folks. This was a video for Robert that the rest of y'all might enjoy it as well. Have a great day. We'll see you, team.